Carl and Brendan here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for sure, and it is reaction time. Checking out some power metal, some American power metal. It is, of course, Judicator. I think this is their seventh album, if I remember. No, or is it their eighth? Seventh or eighth album. It is Concord, dropping March 28th. Brand new album from the American power metal band, and we're going to take a look at a track that's got a video, an official music video. It's A Miracle of Life. I should note, at the time of recording this video, I have heard this album and reviewed it in full, and I really, really like it. But then I am a power metal fan and a Judicator fan as well. This album has many, many, many cool songs, and this just happens to be one of them. Obviously, you know your power metal as well. How familiar, though, are you with Judicator?
You know, I'm not. I'm obviously a fan of power metal, but I wouldn't say I'm not. I don't know an awful lot of Judicator from history. That's the thing,
Mm.
considering they've been around a lot. But weirdly, I only really became a fan of them with the last album they did, which came out a few years ago, The Majesty of Decay.
Yeah.
I think that was the first album I listened to them, and I might be mixing this next bit of it, but I think we might have reacted to a song or two from it as well. That might
Mm.
be me mixing them up with somebody else. But anyway, whatever it is, that's the album I kind of know from them. But despite them having been around a little while, I don't really think I know much of anything prior to that.
Well, we actually do. I've just checked. So you're right. You are correct. We did a reaction to the High Priestess. The High Priestess. When the hell did that one get published? I can't find a published date, but yeah, we did the High Priestess using it. Well, it's an old cover, like
Mhm.
the old image as well. I previously interviewed John Yelland, the vocalist from the band as well, and I'm looking at like the old content. There's a really old album review as well. Um, yeah, so an old album review for Let There Be Nothing, back when was using really, really garish covers before Dan started
Mm.
doing any of them. So yeah, we got a bit of a history there. We have
Yeah,
reviewed a lot of the albums on the website as well.
yeah. I think like it's one of those things. I don't know that I naturally came across them in any of their earlier stuff. I think when The Majesty of Decay came out, because there was some reactions, because the review went up, because there was maybe more happening on the site around then. That's kind of
Hmm.
then where I was encouraged to listen to them. I remember liking that album. I haven't heard anything from the new album, assuming there's a couple of singles and whatnot out already. So,
Yeah.
but I like them as a band and I like the genre a lot. So I would be surprised if this was gonna suck.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
Skip to the end. All right, let's do this in three, two, one, go. God, that's 80s, isn't it?
Yeah. Very. Trousers.
From the future where nothing is new, hear me fall from the mountaintop down below. Heal me, the wilderness is purchased, all farmland state owned. No frontier still defies us. Your
a lot of time left.
I was thinking I don't remember it going on that long on a record.
Still like,
Yeah, it's just credits. All credits. About a minute of them. Yeah, just see if there's anything jammed in at the end. Nope, then we just kind of got black screen for the last 10, 20 seconds. Is anything going to happen? Nope, that is that. Yep, I suppose it's a film, isn't it? It's a video. Might as well advertise it. It's good though that it's not actually nearly 7 minutes long because otherwise it would have really, really got repetitive. It is a song that relies. It has that similar, that very straightforward power metal, heavy metal formula as well. Aside from the obvious, I don't know what you want to call it, pulling the rug out from underneath your feet. Suddenly, here's a progressive saxophone solo that you could almost argue doesn't fit, but it kind of upends things in such a way it fascinates to a degree. That's Nicky Rowe of Eons Enthroned using that saxophone. I mean, I personally love it. I think it's so fucking weird. Ties into the general weirdness that is Judicator because while they are a power metal band, did they sit on the, I don't want to say, don't say comedy side because that's not it, and also that just gives people a view. The more not taking themselves serious too seriously, if that makes sense. Like you hear the music, you wouldn't. It's really the videos more than anything else that you kind of get the they're having a little bit of fun and they poking. Well, fun, power metal and metal in general as well would set in the video. But if you didn't see the video, you wouldn't necessarily get that from the track itself. In regards to the lyrical content and the style of it and stuff like that. For me, it's kind of not teases, sorry, tickles my power metal bones, like the those parts of me that just enjoys a power metal song that's got a chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. It has a powerful like vocalist who can go high and low. You've got maybe some group stuff going on. In this case, it's just kind of going together, and just a little bit of weirdness. This was what I get from the sax solo. So I kind of love that track.
yeah. I mean, I like it. It's good, and I don't really know where you go with it with songs like this. That's the thing, right? Being like brutally honest, like it's a good song, well sung, well played. Everything about it's really, really cool. Like you
Yeah,
said, if you don't watch a video to it, you don't get any notion of the sort of tongue-in-cheek sort of side of it at all. You would just listen to it and be like, "Oh, there's a good power metal song." That's the end of it. And
yeah,
then you watch a video of it, and it's like, okay, it's a bit of a weird contrast in a way because there's nothing in the song that suggests we're taking the Mickey or we're a bit cheesy or anything like that. In fact, if anything, it's quite standard and inoffensive as a song. It's what I mean. Like I've heard like power metal bands who take themselves a lot more seriously sound cheesy in the songs.
yeah.
So it almost like creates a kind of weird conflict then when you're watching it because they're doing things in the video that don't really map to what you're hearing in the song. As in the song's not
Mm.
sort of portraying any of this. There's no overly silly lines or anything like that. And then because you're watching a video and you feel like you're listening to, I wouldn't say a serious song because it's power metal at the end of the day, but you're listening
Yeah.
to just a normal power metal song. You see things in the video and you think, well, that's weird. That's weird. I'll mention that at the end. I'll mention that at the end. But then you realize that you can't really mention any of that stuff anyway because it's all meant to be weird. You
Yeah.
know, I think I had thought twice in the video and I was like making sort of mental notes and I was like, huh, I wonder why they did that. And there were, of all these things I was going to say, before it kind of like completely clicked with me is that you can't critique any of this stuff. Like there's nothing to critique it. What am I going to say? Oh, I'd like what I think I could probably get corrected on this, but I'm pretty sure was the bass guitarist who twice did a slide on the bass guitar, but there's no sound to that slide. And then I was like, oh, that's weird. What a strange thing to do a slide on the bass guitar.
Mm.
But and also then for there to be nothing to it. But then you get to the end of it and you've got the sort of jazz section, with the glittery jackets. You've got the kind of retro vibe to the intro, like in the video, not in the way the song starts. Because actually, when the song
Oh yeah.
starts, it's got quite a kind of thrashy sort of start to it. Obviously the saxophone piece, the little stop for the bass. There's all these little bits. All of a sudden you realize it's like the fact that he did a slide on the bass guitar means literally fuck all in the context of things now, doesn't it? Like, what does that mean? I was like, yeah, okay, so I'll just ignore everything that's happening in the video and I'll say, oh, the video, it's a fun little video. As a song, it's a pretty good power metal song. As the two together, I don't really understand what the fuck's going on. But I like both components, so that's cool. So that's where I kind of ended up sitting on it. I like it.
Well,
The thing, I mean, I like the thing is like if I turn away from the video and I listen to that, I'll say that's a very very good power metal song. It's not exactly doing anything that's like setting the world alight, but it's very very good. And I like his voice a lot. I do like his voice a lot. And then outside of that, it's got all the components I like, right? It's got drums, it's got guitars, lots of guitars. It seems to, I mean, it's probably the way the video shot. At one point, I was like, I think I'm counting the same people now, but I was like, I think I'm up to about 13 guitarists. But it just, I think it was just the way it was being shot, and it just kept like coming at different angles, and I was like, another one, another one. So it's got all the components I like. They play it well. The song's catchy. The voice, like I said, he's got great vocals. Really, really like his voice. You
mm.
know,
Oh yeah,
and
John Yellen is one of the world's best.
I like the video. That's the thing. I like the video as well. The video is humorous, little dancing moments. They look like they're having a great time, and that's always nice to see as well. They look like they enjoy it. I like the little heavy metal choir at the back. With their hands all like Sound of Music style.
Yeah.
So I liked everything about all of it. I just don't always sometimes understand like how the kind of comedic aspects of these videos match with these songs, which are less comedic.
Well, I don't actually think it's necessarily supposed to. I think it's simply put, like, okay, we're going to do a video. We probably don't have a ton of money. We're going to light it in a sort of retro vibe, but ultimately it's going to be a warehouse video. How can we make it
Yeah.
interesting, I guess, to a degree, to
Yeah,
be
and have
something
fun.
that stands
And
out?
that's cool. Like, because at the end of the day, like as long as they're having fun, then that's all that really matters, isn't it? Like
Well, we had fun.
99% of people when you're reacting to things, we watch the video. The reality of it is videos are promotional, right? That's it. When I'm sitting in my car, I'm driving to work, whatever, I'm not watching a video, I'm listening to the song. The song is where I don't know, where the buck really sort of stops at the end of the day. So the video, in a way, I think it's cool that maybe sometimes when you don't have a big budget, it's probably for the best because realistically, your videos have a short sort of lifespan, don't they? What you
Yes, they
want is the
do.
song to be downloaded or bought on CD or bought on record or whatever and be played over and over again. I don't have YouTube open 24/7, so musically, I like it a lot. Look, it's enough. Like, I mean, I like the band anyway, so I listen to that and I think, yeah, okay, cool. It's Judicator doing more good Judicator stuff, so I'm interested. I'll get that song downloaded and I'll be looking out for the album.
There it is. Well put. Judicator doing more good Judicator stuff. That is often a summation of the band for me. But what ends up happening across an entire album is that I find, okay, here's an 8, 9, 10, whatever track release. Oh, I happen to like all the songs. And suddenly that elevates everything because obviously that's such a big, big part of it. And that's very much the case with the new album. I'm not going to bang on about it because obviously I've listened to it and reviewed it. But, this is a good example of that, I think, anyway. You've said so many impressive words there. I feel like I cannot add anything to that except just to say, well, come on. You can add
I
more.
was just gonna say I like words, as you can tell by the length of my review.
No, but that was yeah. But that was so well put the way you put it. Like yeah, that was incredible. That is A Miracle of Life by Judicator. You got any thoughts on what's been said here? What Brendan's bloody said here? You know what to do. Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.